I'm Alan Levine, the talking machine, not doing sports. I'm honored to be asked on the Solar Eclipse Watch 2024. So we got tons of information. My host has all this printed out information. I'm using the Cranium today.
Yes, I'm more of I need to see it.
You're a librarian.
And that's it. That's it. So
Be a
I
librarian.
did a little research for today, and well, in Pittsburgh today we do have a cloudy day.
Pittsburgh weather strikes again.
As always. So we may not be able to see very much, but if
Hold
it
it,
is,
where's my glasses?
but if it is clear during the peak, we will. Pittsburgh's in it's very dark.
I
Isn't
can't
it?
see the camera.
Look at the light. Studio light. Can you see?
I can't see any lights.
Oh.
I can't see you. These glasses work.
Let's
do we got
talk
here,
about,
Christine?
I have some cool historic facts. Let me see. Okay.
What's your top fact? Let me get that out there. What do you think was the coolest thing?
The coolest thing, I think,
Yeah.
was that legend holds that a total solar eclipse so
I
terrified Louis the Pious in 840 AD that he literally died of fright. So
Please Google him and you can interact with us and tell us who he was. I'm assuming he may have been a saint, but they didn't call him a
they
saint.
didn't call him a saint, so maybe he died too soon.
Maybe he was just a reverend and there were no miracles.
Maybe he was just very pious.
Hence Lewis.
He went to Mass every Sunday. A total solar eclipse in 1919 was used to help confirm Einstein's general theory of relativity. I don't know how.
E equals MC squared.
Correct.
And it just came to him.
And I don't know how they would use how an eclipse could help verify that.
I've had some very smart people try to describe it to me,
Yeah.
and I go, thank you.
Yes, yes. In the era before color photography, artists were hired and they painted.
How
what
cool
they-
is that?
Yeah, and they didn't have glasses, so I wonder if that was their last
That was.
commission.
That was, actually, it was during the painting.
Yes.
Sorry, I get a little silly, but
And 15.
just think about it. Oh, there's the sun.
I can't see it.
Where's my plate of colors? Where's my palette?
And in 1503, Christopher Columbus earned the help of hostile natives of the island of Jamaica by predicting a lunar eclipse. So I imagine they treated him as like a demigod. Like, oh my, how does he know this? He must be really
Hey,
important.
Mom, take care of us.
Yes. And here's one for you. From 1882 to 1884, there was a Major League Baseball team called the Louisville Eclipse.
Wow, I didn't hear of that team.
It's only 3 years, so I
Oh,
guess
okay.
yeah,
It got away from me.
it didn't.
Just like the father of baseball isn't Abner Doubleday. It's Harry Chadwick.
Oh, I was
Look
just
him
say
up.
Doubleday to me as a publisher, as a librarian, Doubleday's a big
Right,
book publisher.
but he was called the founder of Major League
Really?
Baseball.
So how'd he get that title if he really wasn't?
Propagandist.
Good
He
marketing.
was writing it, so they figured he was. There's another gentleman I found out through my friends, Harry Chadwick, actually made the rules and set up
Oh,
how the
wow.
fields were. You have to research that, my librarian friend.
I will.
We're a little off the eclipse. We're getting right back.
We'll get
Sorry
right
about
back.
that. Sports comes into everything I do.
Well, yes, I brought it up. Over 4,000 years ago, 2 Chinese astronomers were executed because they failed to predict an eclipse to the emperor. So
Wow.
you didn't want to be a
Well,
fail.
you know, predicting eclipses goes back to the Sumerians and
Yes.
everything. So it was well known, and we still don't know how they had the intelligence and the equipment to figure it out.
Well, what about like the Mayan calendar? How
that
did they
that
know
also.
that?
Well, don't get me started on there was an ancient civilization that had great technology, or AKA aliens.
I know. We have this discussion at our house. Now, I went to Egypt, and the pyramids
I always
are...
wanted to go.
Oh, I'm so glad I went when I did.
How about when you're there, how it looks?
They're
Just describe that, because people have told me.
immense. You
Yeah.
just can't imagine
The size.
The size, and when you get up close to it, each block is like 5 feet.
Well, can you imagine 100-ton blocks?
No, how did they move them? And that's where the discussion comes about aliens.
Well, I'll share this with you. I read a lot of books, and I read about pyramids. I've been reading about it since I had science class and I went to Buell Planetarium. I bought a little mummy thing magnet with King Tut, and he would pop out of it.
Oh, that's cool.
So I always was and interested in it. And I read a book about 5 years ago that this Christopher Dunn, he's like a scientist, an engineer that makes space age equipment. He went to Egypt. They told him, you should go there to see these perfect 100-ton, 1,000-ton obelisks.
Amazing.
So he goes there, and he goes, they machined this. Everything is
How?
machined. Well, there's different things on the plateau there, Giza
Yes.
Plateau. You know, they made the plateau. There's cut marks that are huge
Yes.
from circular saws. Now, here's what's crazy. I'm not going to go too geekish on it. So he came back for another trip. He wrote a couple books on it, The Power Plant of Giza. So he measured it. He brought his measuring tools out there on the first block. Now, space age equipment goes 0.001, to perfection.
Okay.
Guess what the blocks are? The 100-ton, 10-ton, 5-ton, 1,000-ton, 0.0001. They're more perfect than what we do with space age equipment.
Wow. Now that
You heard it here first.
that is what. Yeah. My husband Bill and I have that discussion all
Well,
the time.
tell him I just
I will. I
blew
will
your
share
mind
that.
on that one.
I will share that.
And next, how
Yes.
did they move them? They came from Aswan, like 500 kilometers away.
And some of I know some of it was quarried
Well-
around. You can see.
Well, they
but-
had canals that are gone.
Yes, that's
so
true.
With LIDAR, see, I update what I learned in third grade science. I found out most of it wasn't true. And now look what we've seen, what they've done. So we'll carry on with more eclipse.
Well, just the earliest known record of a solar eclipse was made in ancient Ireland over 5,000 years ago. So the first recorded, like official.
Well, imagine how they say the first civilizations were from Sumeria
Yes.
about 6,000 years ago.
So there you go.
So how were people all over the world in cities like this seeing things? And look where we are today.
And
we
how-
got the solar eclipse of 2024 going to pass our city.
I know. Well, that's one thing.
This is too cool.
that
Carry on.
Pennsylvania has the distinct privilege of once again being in the direct line of a total solar eclipse today, April 8th, 2024. The last time Pennsylvania was in the direct line with a total eclipse was 1806. So that's
Do the math.
218 years ago.
She's a math expert.
I am not. I actually did it beforehand because I'm not good at on-the-go math.
Well, we won't talk about counting money.
No, I'm very bad. Al has to check me. We do a lot of fundraising together, and I'll go here.
Designer bag bingo,
Is on Sunday,
the
the
14th.
14th. So
Tell them the time.
the doors open at 1:30. Bingo starts at 2. Tickets are available at the library, at EV Hardware, and online at Eventbrite.
50-50. I'm a master at that. You win half of the money we collect.
Indeed. So we have really great. There's some really great purses.
Those designer bags, I'm not into that. I'm
Me
a man.
either.
But you know what? They're great designers. I can't even repeat all their names.
Patricia Nash,
There you go.
Coach Brahman. I'm trying to think what else is on there.
Coors.
Michael Kors.
See, I know one name.
I'm trying to think.
no,
There
we
was
don't
some
want to
other,
test
but
your
anyway.
brain. We're on the
Yes, we're on the
2024 solar eclipse.
Yes,
coming
we
to Pittsburgh
are.
for
So the chance of, let me see, after today,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania will have to wait more than a century for another total solar eclipse for us to be in the path of.
You may be here, but I won't make it.
I'm not going to be here for another century.
Just thought I'd tell people.
So the next total solar eclipse in the United States in 2024 will only bring totality to parts of Montana and the Dakotas.
How can it
And
hit those two states?
I don't know, and it'll
or
be
three
a
states. yeah.
partial eclipse in Pennsylvania. then.
We're lucky here.
I know, we are. We are very lucky. Oh wait, some myths. There were some fun ones. Like
We'll pick out information you have there because
I like the myths because it says even today some cultures believe that eclipses are dangerous to pregnant women.
wow, how would they know?
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you, I know the year that my youngest nephew was born, who's now 33, there was a heat wave. It was over 100 for so many consecutive days in Pittsburgh. And he was born prematurely. And there were a lot of premature babies that summer because it was just so hot. So, I mean, things do happen.
I understand.
I used to date a guy from Croatia.
Okay.
And
What happened there? No, not with him. With your thing. With your thing
Say,
there.
we don't want to go there.
No, I want to talk about this.
Well, I'm thinking about like the moon and you know, pregnant women, or their
that combo.
their thing was, after a woman gives birth, it is a bad luck, almost like a bad omen, for that woman to be out
During that time.
during a full moon, right after giving birth.
Oh my goodness.
And there was, these people lived in Cleveland, and there was, I don't know if it was a snowstorm, I can't remember because it was so long ago.
Okay.
But she had to go from her house to her mother-in-law's house and was so upset and crying because something bad was going to happen, because she had to go outside while the moon was full right after giving birth. So, interesting.
Be careful then.
And in Italy, some people believe that planting flowers during the solar eclipse will produce more colorful blooms.
To all my Italian friends that I grew up with and know,
Go
have a
plants.
good garden. Garden and look down, don't look up.
The Vikings believed that eclipses were caused by a wolf devouring the sun, and that seems to be a common theme.
Sure.
In Hindu mythology, eclipses are caused by the severed head of a demon swallowing the sun.
A demon.
Yes. Korean folklore tells of eclipses being caused by mythical dogs biting the sun. Wow. So we have a lot of...
Again, the dog wolf thing.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Well, with the moon, you know, lunar.
They howl at the moon. Well, here, you talk about the moon. And how could it be that the moon is the perfect distance, like 400,000, what is it, miles or whatever?
Yes.
Something like that. You had a stat there, but I learned this a long time ago in all my reading, that the moon is actually the perfect size at the perfect distance to do it. And they go, what are the odds of that happening?
It's not, and then they said, I was reading in here and I have to find it, but
Yeah, that's why I gave you a little segue.
well, thank you. You're great, but now I got to find it.
Go on. One more.
Well, we were talking about this. A 10
go
to
ahead.
15 degree drop in temperature is not unusual, and also it could get windy.
Yes.
We'll talk about animals in a minute.
Okay.
But
Where's that?
I know, where is that?
I don't know. We were.
Okay.
Go back.
I have it.
Go back.
Hold on.
I know it was there.
Okay. Well, the shadow of the moon zips across the Earth's surface at a blazing rate of 2,300 miles per hour. And while the length of this path of this eclipse stretches 9,190 miles,
Imagine that.
and if an average of 109 miles in width, so the totality is about 109 miles in width.
That's actually huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Try
Yes.
driving that.
No.
No doubt. We're trying to get that size thing.
I know. That's what I'm trying to find.
Where is that? Yeah.
I know that I saw it.
Oh, here, tell them this.
Oh, solar eclipse only happens on the new moon.
Yes, which means it's usually dark
It's
and you
not
don't
visible.
see it. Yes.
Correct. It's not visible.
See, I know a couple things.
Yes.
You keep reading
I
that.
am. Okay.
Where's
but a
that
solar
key
eclipse
fact?
doesn't happen every full moon. So
Exactly.
the reason is that because the moon's orbit is tilted 5% compared to the Earth's orbit around the sun.
Yes.
So that is why. But there was
We're
another.
covering these things.
I know. There's a lot.
I brought that up. I know we got to find that.
So you may experience strange things, like maybe not so much here. I mean, well, we have, what's ours, 97.2% will be the maximum
Yeah.
in Pittsburgh.
That's
but
less
it
than
won't-
3% total
But it won't be.
for math, man.
But a cloudy day is about 95% like the same. So it's not going to seem much darker than a regular cloudy Pittsburgh day.
I was going to ask that.
Yes. I got that from KDK.
Here, I have something. I'm not sure when it was, but I worked at the Post-Gazette in the production department, putting comics together and stacking bundles. And I worked with machinists that had welders' glasses. Mm-hmm. And it was a daylight shift, sort of like this, and it was a sunny day. So I told them how I've had a telescope since I was 12 years old, got it for my birthday, and looked at the sky for years. I'd like to see it. And they go, I'll give you my welder's glasses. And, I looked inside and it was black. So I walked outside, and saw the sun, and I go, wow, that is great. So I saw an eclipse near the Ohio River is the plant. It was our inserting building. So I was out there. It was during lunch or during a break. We get breaks. So I wasn't doing it illegally. I went out. I was getting paid.
Union break.
Yeah, I was getting paid. So I got to see an eclipse. And it was so cool because the Ohio River's right here, and the sun's like above
Right at its
at that
apex.
time. Yeah, the apex there. A little past noon it was, I think. Maybe closer to, yeah, probably 1 o'clock, close around there. And I got to see it thanks to my friend.
Nice. Yes. Well, that's what I had a couple employees from Evie's that inquired over the weekend if the library had any more solar eclipse
Of
classes.
course.
And I was like, no, you waited till the last minute. I said, but you have you have welding masks down there. Take
Yeah.
those outside.
Here's what I'll tell you. It has to be over the number 12.
They
They
informed
prefer
me
it.
of that.
They prefer it as 15. So you see, I know a lot of odd
See,
things.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Definitely,
know.
and I'll give you a telescope story since Dave said we could interact.
Okay.
I was Jewish growing up, so I wanted a telescope before I turned 12 years old. So I asked for a telescope. I didn't get it. I had 3 sisters. We got 8 presents and everything. So you got little presents, little money, and I didn't get my telescope. I was so disappointed for that. And my parents loved me dearly. May they rest in peace. And so for my 12th birthday, I opened up and I see this thing wrapped this big, a white telescope, my first telescope. Started using it that night.
Oh.
And a cousin of mine went to school. I forget what school. He was going to be a math teacher or an astronomer. So he goes, Alan, can you chart the skies for a year for me or during school?
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, that's right up my alley. I've been reading about the sky and the moon and all the planets. And I go, yeah. So I was charting the skies for the whole school year
Wow.
doing that. So I learned, I forgot about, you know how we forget 90%? I probably forget about 80%.
So I saw today on your Facebook page, you were
Yeah.
talking about that there's planets that will also be visible.
Listen to this. Every planet but Pluto will be visible.
Is Pluto a planet anymore?
I call it a
I
planet.
know, it was a planet when I went to school too.
Like, size may matter in certain things. But the darn planet, they discovered it and said it was a planet. I grew up with that.
Me too.
And in 3rd grade science, I truly believed it. And now I'm much older. I won't say how old, but I do
Just a
believe
few
it's
years.
a planet. many,
Yes.
many few years. But I say it's in there, but it's not in the picture that I put up there. Somebody
Okay.
had posted that, and it was so cool.
That was interesting.
And a lot of people go, I've never seen Mercury. I go, you have to look almost at the sun when it's visible.
Oh.
And it's so hard because it's so close to the sun.
Right.
And if you notice, it is. And Venus, if you need a point of reference, I always told my kids, just look up and you see the brightest thing that looks like a star. Stars twinkle, planets don't.
Oh,
That's my tip of the day for the librarian.
new.
It'll
new
be
to
a,
me at 50
it'll
something.
be a
I just learned.
yeah, it'll be a reflection. And stars always twinkle like it is twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Interesting.
There is some fact to all these little old wives' tales
Have
and
you-
stories.
Have you seen Skylink in the sky? I've not seen it. You know, and people are post it like it looks like it's.
I have, and I also saw what is it, I'm trying to think, the observatory that they put up there, USS, whatever it is.
The space station.
Space station.
Yeah, I don't know what
I've
it's
seen that.
officially
Yeah,
called.
I've
See, I
seen.
have
They
not.
say names. I've seen it because certain times it would say it would be there.
Okay.
And when other satellites would come around, you know, satellites stay stationary, so they're spinning the same speed to say at that point. But other times they
Oh,
move them. This is like
okay.
science class.
Right. Yeah, I never thought about that. Yeah, the satellite is staying still and we're moving. And then
Well, no, it's
does it spin this way?
it's just spinning at the speed of the Earth.
Okay.
Going around
Okay.
because it would lose it. Like, look at all this technology. Look at these things, GPS and everything else. Somebody, Masak Mohammed, he said it's still sunny.
Oh, good.
Not in Pittsburgh. You mustn't be in Pittsburgh. Let us know. But you know, thanks to anybody watching, or if you're watching with not signing into it, we appreciate it. We're on BPTV, Facebook, BPTV website. I think even Pittsburgh Sportsline, Nick said he was going to share it there. And you can check it all out because we're honored and blessed to be able to do this. We're chatting a little bit since Dave said chat it up.
Yes.
We can
got-
handle it very well.
Oh, I had no problem. When Dave said, because he said, are you free on Monday afternoon? I'm like, yeah, I'll host. And then I saw Al was going to be here. I go, oh, we'll be fine. We can chat
I'm
as long
glad
as he
you're
has
here.
it rolling.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to add that to it. And I had many years always telling my kids, wherever you are, I'll see you when Orion's out during the winter season, because you see the belt of Orion, which is the belt in the Giza pyramids.
Oh, yeah, the way that
How
the
they're like
pyramids are
this.
aligned.
There's like 1, 2, and
Yes.
it's sort of like that.
Interesting.
That's the belt. See, I know a couple
Interesting.
things there.
Yeah, astronomy was not my
Well, if I
favorites.
taught you one thing, the precision
I know. I'm gonna go home and tell
.0001
Bill.
and stars twinkle. That's like when you see a bright star. There's a couple bright stars that are close to what Venus is. Venus will be there from low all the way up, and it's the brightest planet out there.
Okay, I'm gonna look now.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Next clear
And
night.
then during the winter nights and early spring and stuff, you can see Orion. And it's usually in like southwest or so.
Yeah, direction. Now I don't.
Yeah.
I say they go take 51 north. I go, is that towards Pittsburgh or away from Pittsburgh?
Well, then
Towards
here, I'll give
downtown.
you my direction story growing up in Green Tree. And being, a telescope guy at 12, so about 13, good friend of mine, Tommy Lynch, I don't know if he's still alive, we were best buddies. We were both in the model rockets, all these Estes rockets, we made it. And I lived in Green Tree in a road called Park Edge Road, which was across from the Parkway. And you know where all the Foster Plaza and
Yes.
hotels are? Guess what that was when I was growing up?
A park.
An apple orchard.
Ooh, lovely.
And it was huge, and I always dreamed about going there, having a house or something. But my buddy Tom goes, hey, if we get our parents to let us go, he was a year older, we could go sleep out during the Perseids meteor shower, which is in August. And I go, let's go. We took our wagon with our telescopes,
And how old were you?
like 13.
Okay.
We traveled over a mile. We didn't get driven there.
Right. No.
We had to
we
walk.
everywhere. Yes.
And that's Green Tree Road, all off the
my.
Parkway exit and everything. You go down to Mansfield, you go up to the farmland.
Mm-hmm.
It was all dark, pitch black. We had flashlights. We're like, if they go out, how are we going to get back? We
Wait till
found an
morning.
area in between the orchard that was sort of clear. And believe it or not, it was at the top of the area.
Oh, nice.
We laid out all night, saw hundreds of meteors.
That's
When
so
friends
cool.
of mine said they'd never seen a meteor, I said, I lost count.
Wow. Yeah, I like when there's meteor showers. I will
You've
watch
seen
those.
them?
Yes, I have.
Because I had friends I worked with, and the meteor showers would come every August. And I go to different guys, hey, stay up. We get done at 3:30, 4 in the morning. You might see, 100 meteors.
That's cool.
So a buddy of mine said, hey, Al, I'm out here a half an hour. Did you see any? I said, only 2. He goes, how'd I miss them?
He was he was looking down at that moment.
And we'll move back to the eclipse stuff here.
So I have 2 cats. Do you have?
I just have one.
You have one cat.
She'll be 17. Little 8
Mine
is
will
a
be-
7-pound
I
cat.
was gonna say mine will be 17 in June,
May 17th.
June 6th,
Whoa.
I know.
The synchronicity of the universe
know.
is fine.
and they were born on the 6th of June, so they were my D-Day cats. June 6th.
Here we got a
1941.
couple people. Paul Haley he was a Bethel Park resident. He watches my show. He says, great show, watching live on Facebook and SC, South Carolina.
Oh my.
Lisa Welsh Tursk, great view from my backyard in BP.
Oh good.
Well, then you see the clouds. Michael Thompson in Arizona, Uncle Al.
Uncle Al.
Thank you, nephew.
So animals, can
We
can-
both got them.
We both have them. Now, I was, like my mother said, don't let the cats look at the sun. My cats don't look at the sun on a regular day. Why would they look at it during the eclipse? But there is some recorded oddities in animal behavior during an eclipse.
I can't wait.
So 7 years ago, whenever we had the last eclipse, in North Carolina, the Galapagos tortoises at the Riverbank Zoo, and South Carolina,
okay.
excuse me, in Columbia, South
Hey,
Carolina.
Paul, check out the South Carolina
Yeah.
Zoo. And tortoises, go there now.
Right, because they generally do nothing all day, but during the peak of the eclipse, I'll put it very nicely, they started breeding,
Oh my goodness.
and the cause of that behavior is unclear. So now during this eclipse, they're going to watch again to see
that happens.
if it's repeated, and also
I hope they're not videoing that.
No, well, they would probably for them, but not for general consumption. And a mated pair of gibbons that usually call to each other in the morning sang unusual tunes during the afternoon eclipse. and a few male giraffes began to gallop because they were anxious. You know.
Galloping giraffe. Say
would
that
be
3 times.
Galloping giraffes, galloping giraffes, galloping giraffes.
You
See, I
win.
can do that. I can't do math, but I can do tongue twisters.
Paul Haley says, for your information, we just found out, bring your pets indoors. I read from veterinarians that this will affect their behavior. Be kind. And then Vanessa Swedish, she said, covered by clouds on Fox Chapel.
Yes.
Welcome to Pittsburgh.
So they'll say
Those are
that
great tips.
animals will often display behaviors connected to early dusk. So you might hear like the birds, going to nest and chirping, how birds do in the evening. And so let's
Where are you at now?
see. Oh, honeybees.
Tell us about it. We need them to be alive.
They will be alive, but they decrease foraging during the eclipse because, temperature goes down and it gets a little dim. So they start going back to the hive.
What do they just hang out there?
Thinking, I think it fools them. But they're saying that, like with your pets, if you keep, especially with dogs, I would think cats sleep most of the time. I don't see
They're
them.
on their own time
Yes,
clock.
and they do their own thing. But dogs especially, they say just keep to your regular routine, and it shouldn't. They take cues more from you than
they
from
interact,
from their internal clock. But
I grew up with dogs and never remember a problem with that.
no. Earthquake, when we had an earthquake one time, my cat was going really crazy.
Well, or I forget when that was,
I mean, I was in high school, so this had to be
going back a
in
few
the
years. We're not
80s.
going, somewhere. Around.
And my cat, I was homesick that day, and my cat was acting very strange. And then we had like a junkyard not too far from us,
nice.
a scrap.
Yeah,
And
they were popular
would-
back then.
And Deitch's, I don't know if you remember Deitch's
I
scrapyard
do.
in Sharpsburg, and they would drop stuff, and sometimes the house would shake. So I didn't think anything of it, but then Bob Kudzma came on and Bill Burns
love Bob Kudzma.
on the new news, and
Better
they
than
said,
Joe.
yes, and they said, did you feel that? That was an earthquake. So then I'm like, oh, that's why the cat was acting weird.
Shout out to the New York people, 4.8 earthquake.
I know, over the weekend, right?
Can you imagine? That's not like California gets all the time. That was a shocker for them.
Right. So, so I know there's some zoos, like Rob, our head of adult services at the library, he and his wife went to, I think, Cleveland area.
Okay.
And he said that the zoo was asking for people that are going to be at the zoo to write down observations of what
that's
animals
cool.
are doing to help them.
It's research.
Right. So
We're about learning.
we are all about learning.
What else do you got?
Well,
in there?
do you know what an egg cream is? Because I've never had an egg cream drink.
No, I've had eggnog.
I don't like that either.
I actually like it.
I know, Bill likes it too. I don't like it. But
Even
apparently,
without liquor.
yes, apparently the egg cream is a traditional post-eclipse celebratory drink. So, here it is. Even during a 99% solar eclipse, the sun is
Partial
still
solar.
10,000 times
Yeah,
brighter
that's what I was saying,
than during totality. So I think in the path of totality, I think it's going to be creepy because it's going to get dark like night.
Yeah.
For us, it'll be like a really cloudy day, or also like if a quick storm came up.
Yeah.
It gets dark and then it storms and then we get some light again. So
Here, Paul Haley goes, Bob Kudzma was a Bethel Park school bus driver in his retirement.
really?
You won't believe who I met, Paul. Bob Kudzma, when he was taking my kids to school. And I told him in high school, this one girl named Ann, she loved Bob Kudzma. He actually came to our school for a presentation about the weather.
Oh my word.
She got to meet him, and that was her highlight of high school.
Oh my word.
But I met him. Vanessa Swedish says, between the clouds, if you get a chance, give it a shot. With glasses, of course. Fantastic. Vanessa, that's our plan.
We have our glasses.
We're going to go, I think we
We
got,
have a couple minutes before
we have a
we'll-
few minutes, but Dave said if we run out, so we're going to have to check with Director Nick.
Well, I have a few pop culture references.
Then put 'em in there.
Okay, Mark Twain combined time travel.
That's my hero.
And a solar eclipse in his book, A Connecticut Yankee and King
I remember
Arthur's
reading that.
Court to create a unique plot line. And then Little Shop of Horrors, the man-eating plant named Audrey II, or Audrey II, is discovered during a total solar eclipse.
How did they do that?
Well, so while I'm thinking of Little Shop of Horrors and musicals, we'll be hosting
yeah.
Party in the Park. Our
Great
third
segue.
annual Party in the Park on Saturday, May 25th at South Park Theater on the grounds and in the theater. So one really cool thing that's happening this year is we're going to have Miscast Cabaret.
Wow.
So if you've ever wanted to, like Al here, if he decided as a middle-aged man that he always wanted to sing Tomorrow from Annie, but he would never have been cast as that because you're a man and not a woman. This is your opportunity
Thank you for knowing that,
to do so. So if you want, so what's really
How about I just listen?
you can just listen. But my friend Karen and I just taped our audition tape yesterday for Miscast Cabaret. So we're doing a kind of a medley, but it's mostly You'll Be Back from Hamilton.
That's so cool.
And then we interject. So I don't know if we'll be chosen, Lorraine from South Park Theater, but if we are,
Hint, hint.
no, I don't want her to feel any pressure, but I think we did pretty good considering we're not professional
I want to hear it, Lorraine.
So,
we have our first look at the eclipse.
okay. Oh, so
okay.
we're being told that we have our first look at the eclipse.
Oh, Corey just said you can see it clearly with the glasses.
Okay, even with the clouds?
Yeah, so Corey,
Oh,
thanks
look,
for that.
look! Oh, it is. It's starting to come up from the. It comes up
we have
from
the filter on there.
the southeast corner. That was in my notes here too. It starts
I'm glad
in
it
the
came out. It jogged your memory.
southeast corner of the.
We're honored
the
to be
sun.
doing this. Way to
I
go.
know this is great.
We got
This is
it.
historic, folks. So
Especially
there's
for BPTV.
there's our first look. Okay, let's see. Yes. Okay, we're getting ready to wrap. We're going to go outside. But we will leave you while we're moving locations. We will leave you with our friend Roy.
Yes.
Who
In 2017,
he
created something.
to help you safely view the eclipse. So check this out.
Hey, this was so cool. Putting these glasses on.
Yes.
We saw the eclipse starting.
Yes,
It's coming from the right, the lower
yes,
right.
the southeast corner of the sun is covered first, and then it moves up and across.
Yes,
So.
and that's what I saw happening there. We both saw it.
Indeed.
These glasses are great. My head's too big, so I got to hold them up there.
I
I'll
can't
just
put them
stick 'em
over
to
my.
my
I was gonna say I can't put them over my glasses. It doesn't work
We
very
both
well.
got issues, but we saw it. We
Hey.
saw the start of it. Now dark clouds came in.
Some of the library staff are out here. We're at the Veterans Memorial Plaza.
They're over there. We're not going to put them on camera
Well,
and talk to
I'm gonna call Missy Lane over. I think. Come on, Missy Lane.
You can come sit with us, please.
Come join us for a few moments. So
Dave gave us permission to chat.
Missy Lane. Missy Lane was telling me that your niece was watching or listening to a podcast and had some interesting information about animals.
Yes. So they are up in Columbus, and they are actually spending
That's
the
not
day
far
at the
from here.
Columbus Zoo. Not far at all. And she was telling me about the different animal behaviors, which I think you guys touched upon some
Yes,
of
we
them.
did. And we
But-
talked with you a little bit, so lay it on our people out here
well,
watching
the one
this
that I
live
found
stream.
most interesting was that spiders may begin to take down their webs. Now, I didn't know that they took down their
Take 'em
webs
down.
daily.
Wow.
Spiders spin new webs each and every day.
I knew they spun new webs,
I
but
didn't know that.
however many I've walked through, I didn't know that they took them down. I thought they just moved on to another web. So interesting.
So I thought that was very interesting about the spiders. And then she also told me that flamingos will start to flock together.
Flamingos, I love them.
Do you?
Yeah.
What intrigues you about flamingos? They
Well,
are a very interesting creature.
When I saw them first on TV and then at zoos, I just liked how they'd stand there on their stilt-like legs.
Right? I
and
know.
how pink they were. Growing up with three sisters, it's all about pink, and me being a guy, it still looked great to me.
But do you know
and
why
cool.
their feathers are pink?
I read about
Do you know
it,
this?
but I
I don't
forget.
know.
I
don't
do
wanna get it
know.
wrong.
No, I do know this. It's their food. They eat the krill
Okay.
and
Yeah.
shrimp, so they take on the colors in their feathers from.
Yeah, so they aren't born pink.
No, I know that. Yeah, I forgot what it
Did
was
you,
that
Al, or
they're
did I
eating.
teach you something new?
No, you didn't
never
today
teach
because
Al
I read.
anything new.
I read a lot.
He knows it
You
all.
can stump me. No, I'm learning. My mind, I'll tell you, is getting out of my teenage years. I said friends of mine lost their curiosity. I prayed to God that I wouldn't lose my curiosity, and I prayed that I'd have childlike curiosity.
I love
and
it.
and I'll be almost 68, and I still have an open
You
mind.
told your age. We've
That's
not.
Yeah.
We've been avoiding it all
I
day.
know.
You
I know.
keep your mind sharp. right?
Yeah, I do.
That's why, yeah.
Well, I read history every day, and I'm not afraid to learn new things from anybody.
Yeah, I love it.
And I tell people this: what we learned in science in third grade, it's all changed. Most of it wasn't even
A
true.
lot of it, yeah, you're right.
Well,
And
it was true
and
to the
that's-
best of their knowledge
No,
at
but-
the time.
Well,
right.
look at technology's changed, and look at what we talked about. I gave you the pyramid talk earlier. Jack Allen said, "Good job, Alan, Christine. Thank you." Vanessa Swedish says, "Enjoy, guys. It's incredible." Cindy Harper Quinlan, "So cool from Main Street." Well, we saw part of it here at the library, right at 5100 West Library Avenue, the
Yes.
municipal building. So come on down. Any of you,
Cooler
including...
than I thought it would be, too. I think it's just so...
It's very
neat.
awe-inspiring.
It is cool. I second that. I'm following your lead. It's too cool.
Too cool,
It's-
for lack of a better term,
Yes.
right? Like,
We're wordsmiths here.
Okay,
That
so
we're simple.
So today, the moon's orbit takes it directly between the sun and the earth and creates a small shadow on the earth. Due to the motion of the moon and the spin of the earth, this shadow starts in the Pacific, a little south of the equator as the sun rises, sweeping northeast to the coast of Mexico just after 2 p.m. Eastern
Whoa.
Time. It'll then streak through Texas, right over Dallas, just north of Little Rock, Arkansas, through Missouri,
Oh, did you?
Indianapolis,
Story for another day.
Indianapolis, Indiana, on to Cleveland, which is where Rob, our adult services librarian,
Shout out to Rob.
department head, Buffalo, and continues right over northern.
How did we get in the view here? You didn't mention Pittsburgh.
Okay, well, but we're not. This
We're
is
in
the-
that 109 miles.
Well, these are the ones, the cities that
main.
are in the band of totality. So
the
they will-
97.2% or something.
They will. That's us. No, we have 97.2%.
They have 100.
They have 100. So it will.
We
get,
salute you, cities.
it will get
Even
dark.
Cleveland.
It will
I
get
have empathy
dark.
for Cleveland, but we salute you.
So finally, it'll make its way through northern Maine, New Brunswick, and then southern Newfoundland, and end just before 4 o'clock our time. So, or,
And
or around 4
Christine,
o'clock.
thank you. And that was only one paragraph to all of you
Of my
watching
pages
us.
and pages
But I
of
got
research.
attention here. I've been watching my co-host. Look at her sparkle shoes.
Flipped around. You're looking at yourself.
Oh, what did they do?
Turn around.
Here, help me, ladies. I only got 2 hands.
Okay. He wants to show my shoes. Just show my shoes.
Sorry about that faux pas. Look at these shoes.
Yes. Look at my fabulous
Look
shoes.
at that. And we'll show her ankles. Look at that.
did you mention her blouse?
And
Wearing the star.
My blouse with the
I'll
stars
do it
that
discreetly.
that I wore on
Slush.
purpose.
How was that, Christine?
That's actually nice. You don't see my face, so we're good.
Well, you said
Okay.
blouse. I'm
My
very
blouse.
literal. We're looking.
Oh,
Hey,
we're
let
gonna
us
look.
take a peek
We're
out
gonna
there.
Take a peek and see what's going on.
Oh my goodness.
All right,
Ah,
I'm
the
gonna
darn
take off
clouds.
My glasses. and
The
put
clouds
on
got
my
it.
glasses.
Timing is everything.
Well, we'll keep a watch, Al.
Oh, we're
Keep a
good at
watch.
that.
Getting a little. Oh, I see it. I see it, Al.
Oh, I'm coming out then.
Okay, so very, very awe-inspiring. We have a few clouds in the sky.
We have a guest. Heather's here from the library.
Oh, let me take mine off. I'm trying to look at the camera.
We'll try to look.
Oh
wanna
man,
say
that was
anything?
that was so cool.
How cool is
Oh my
this?
gosh, watching
We're
the
all
clouds. go
wordsmiths,
away.
and our best word is cool.
cool dude. No.
Cool, dude.
So you have people watching from somewhere else, right?
Tell them.
I do. I
wanna
don't think
say
they
hi?
can see it, but I think that my family in Arizona might have the link to BPTV.
Give 'em
So
a
it's
shout out.
awesome. Hello, family.
Hold that.
What are we doing?
Nothing. He needs to talk to Al. So you and I are just going to talk for a few minutes. So yes. So your in-laws want to know if they could watch the live stream on BPTV.
They said we're not gonna get to see it here, and I said, but we might be able to send you a link.
Yes. So,
And we did, so that's pretty cool. And I hope all of our young kids are able
Yes.
to witness this and enjoy it. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm gonna look up and try something unusual.
Okay. Yes. The clouds have parted, so I'm going to put my
You know
glasses
what? I
on.
see it. It's about almost halfway now. I don't know if it's showing up on our camera.
Oh wow.
I would love to. I just can't. I've been looking over town for the glasses.
Yes,
There
we.
are nowhere.
I don't know if we're
actually-
getting this,
We had
so-
over 1,000 that we.
This is
that
what
we
Al's
gave
looking
out.
at right now.
No,
Yeah.
I have none.
Christine, I'm filming this.
Is it safe
Lovely.
to do it? Is it safe to touch it on the iPhone or not?
You can.
I'm doing
but-
it right
but
now
I
by the
tried to-
studio told me, so I'm not looking at it. That is about halfway, folks.
Yeah, it's going fast. Faster than I was expecting.
It is moving. Is that good?
Where is the next year?
No way.
Is it the totality path 4 minutes long?
Yes, but we are not. Pittsburgh is not in the path of totality.
I read that, okay.
Yeah.
Did you
so-
I think I
ready
got
to
it
see?
now. Sorry for showing
Or
my
do you need
face.
those?
Oh yeah, but you can look at them now if you want.
Yeah, I wish I could.
I appreciate that.
So while
No,
today,
it's getting smaller.
while today we have a 97.2% totality.
There, I remembered that number.
Yes. The last time Pennsylvania was in a direct line for totality was in 1806.
Get out of here.
Yes. And again, that was 218
You're
years
proud
ago.
of that number.
I'm very proud because I
She doesn't do
calculate-
math well.
No, that's what, yes. I'm not, yeah. I can do other things, but not math.
There's our director, Dave Cable. He got his glasses protecting his eyes, and we got a thumbnail sun picture.
And Lance is down there looking through the camera that Dave has filtered.
Yes, and guys, one of the reasons I wanted to do this show is because of the aspect of this where there aren't too many experiences that everybody can share, and this is one of those special things. And it used to happen a lot more before people kind of separated themselves out by technology, but this is a shared experience, and I thought sharing it with the public in this forum would be a great way to do it. And just look at all the people that have stopped by,
Right.
coming by and checking it out. I really think that just goes to show that it's great to have things like this happen, just so people can get out and meet each other and talk to each other.
Co-sign that. Thank you for putting me on board here. We're having so much fun with Christine. Sorry about the selfies that I took of myself when I was looking at the sun.
That's all right, Al. It's all good television.
I took a selfie under here safely.
But I want to thank you two guys for agreeing to host this. All right, I'll go fix that. Excuse me, guys. I got to go fix the other camera.
Okay.
you.
Well, you can take a look on our live feed that
Was it 316 or is it
Dave
closed?
and Lance,
Yeah, I
Detective
think.
Lance, are working on. But we're getting to a very, very thin sliver,
It's like out there to show people it's not that way.
and we are about.
Oh, hey,
Wait,
you're doing the right thing.
I need my glasses, my real
I
glasses.
got 2 parents alive. I don't know.
Look at the shadows.
I know.
No, it's really cool. Yeah,
So we're starting to see more shadows
Yeah.
out on the street. It's getting a little dimmer, which is hard to tell because we are cloudy today.
Wow, we're at about 80% blockage of the sun here in my guesstimation. It's like a little nail clipping up there.
Indeed. All right. An interesting, a fun fact. There are a lot more motor vehicle accidents during an eclipse because people
Wow,
get
they're looking.
distracted and they're looking. So do not
Drive and look.
drive and look.
Nor
First,
drive and drink.
Put
and
these,
look.
Put these glasses on and try and drive.
You're not gonna
can't-
see.
You cannot see anything through these glasses if you're just looking around you. So yes, and they also were saying, the state police were saying this morning that it is not legal to pull over on the highway
Right.
to look at the eclipse. Pulling over on the highway is for emergencies only. So please do not pull over.
Hey guys, I learned when I was taking my young son to see the fireworks down at the stadiums on the 4th of July and the barge, so we stopped on the West End Bridge just to catch a glimpse.
Yes.
The police chased us
Yes.
away. Dad, he goes, Dad, we in trouble. So we went to South Side and we saw the fireworks from the river.
Yes, we got stuck on the Liberty Bridge during the millennium, when
Yeah.
it was New Year's Eve, 1999. And
I remember that,
2000.
yeah.
And we got stuck on the Liberty Bridge because everyone was stopping. So, of course, we did get out to look. But the police did come and chase us.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Hey, we respect the blue and the police here.
Absolutely. Speaking of,
So we
here,
got some down there.
we got some of our Bethel's finest down here.
Hey, smile for the camera. This is live.
Give us a little wave, officers.
Happy Solar Eclipse 2024. Thank you. We appreciate you guys. You're welcome. Here, take a picture back. We're good.
And we have some of the library staff.
Yeah,
that are
they're
hiding.
hanging there.
Yes, and they're also kind of hidden behind the.
They're
What
smart.
do we call these? Are these
Plaques,
But are they monuments?
monuments.
That's the word. monuments.
The wordsmith came out of you.
It happens.
You're doing great on this.
So we have about 10 minutes before we hit totality. What
97.2.
Right. What will be our
It's
totality?
not a radio station either.
No, because you know what? Your glasses match your outfit.
You look stylish. We're not taking pictures.
So
You're good.
it's interesting to see the shade. Like we have shade.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. A little bit eerie.
It does. It has that effect to it.
It does. It's very cool. Very awe-inspiring. That's all I keep saying.
What
It's
a
very
great day.
awe-inspiring. It turned out to be, at least it's warm.
Yes.
It is neat. There is shadows. This is really cool.
I know. It's cool.
We
looking
have
around.
it's looking like late day. Late day.
Yes.
It feels cooler.
Yeah, it does.
It feels cooler. Do we hear any may go silent.
I don't hear any.
I don't hear any birds, so that
I
may
didn't hear
be-
any before though. Wow, this is getting almost 97.2 coming up.
It's getting cooler, and it's getting very dim. So imagine how cool it is where Rob is, where he's in the path of totality, and it will be
Wow.
like a full moon night.
No, that is crazy.
We have, let me see, we have, I'm doing math.
Go ahead.
7 minutes. 7 minutes to
Yeah.
totality. We're at 3:16, according to my.
You know what?
My
You're
Fitbit.
Still,
Well, we're not going to go
is that
total.
2% of it?
Yeah, so we're not going to be total. It will go across and come out. Yes. So we'll know when we've hit.
Thank
we've
you,
passed,
Dave, for the clarification.
when we've passed the apex of totality, when we
Yes,
start
we
to
did.
see
You got technical on.
when
me.
we start to see a light on the right side of the.
And look at lights at the
Eclipse.
library are on. We're covering it all here, folks.
Really,
No,
really,
this is so cool.
it's very interesting. And I love the way it's shadowy. It does look like after a thunderstorm
Yeah,
when
it
the sun
does.
comes out. It's very, very cool. Dusk to dawn
All
lights
right, 1 minute.
on the municipal building came on.
We
Hi,
got the 1
Carla.
minute.
Let me get Al in here, looking cool. Oh, we got Al and
Yeah.
Dave.
We're looking up with our glasses on.
Always have your glasses on. Do not look at the eclipse without approved protective eyewear.
I have my protection on.
I know. I said that the dusk to dawn lights were triggered.
Dave said that's it, folks.
Well, it'll come out. It's going to go across, so we're going to see light come on the other side, on the right side.
Wow, I can't believe we did this whole show with. Look at the eclipse of 2024.
And without very much cloud cover. Early on, when it first started to cover, but we've been cloud free now.
And that bird singing in a tree here.
Yes, we have a bird. Possibly thinking it's dusk and going to nest.
No, he's saying, what are those people doing with those crazy glasses on? That's the bird talk that I heard.
Well, you would know, Al, because you speak the bird's language.
No, I can understand it. I'm not Dr. Doolittle.
Look, you can see how it's moving. Like the ring that we can see, the light that we can see, is moving down
Yeah.
towards the bottom
Yeah,
of
it
the
turned
sun.
that little clip
Yeah.
to the bottom part. Great observation. You may not know math, but you got two good eyes.
I got two good eyes and I know words.
Yes.
I can't count the 50-50 money at the fundraisers. I get Al to do that for
We'll see
me.
that on Sunday.
Yes, don't forget
Designer
it's Sunday.
bag bingo.
Designer bag bingo, Sunday, April 14th.
1:30.
1:30, the doors open. 2 o'clock, bingo starts. That's at the community center over on Park Avenue. Tickets are
You see
$40,
how
which
it's pivoting,
gets you 10 games of bingo, 3 cards for each game. It's sponsored by the Friends of the Bethel Park Public Library, and proceeds benefit the library. So we hope to see you there.
All right, guys. Well,
Okay.
thank you so much for being the host of the show today. We will leave Bethel Park. We will show the rest of the eclipse, maybe not to its totality, but at least until 4 o'clock. But this is the end of your official interviews with Al and Christine. So thank you again very much, guys, for coming out for this. Thank you, everybody who watched today, and enjoy the rest of the eclipse on BPTV,
You're
or
so
go
welcome.
outside and see it yourself.
You're
Thank
so
you.
welcome. Goodbye.
Bye.